The moonlit peaks were a place of profound magic, where ancient trees touched the stars and rivers hummed with forgotten songs. And at the heart of these peaks lived Luna, a dragon unlike any other. Her scales were the color of storm clouds at twilight, a shimmering soft gray that seemed to absorb the starlight. She was immense, with wings that could cast shadows across entire valleys, yet she moved with a grace that belied her size. Luna had a secret, or rather, a unique rhythm to her life. When the first golden rays of dawn kissed the highest peaks, she would seek out her hidden cave, a vast chamber carved into the mountain where luminous crystals pulsed with a gentle white light. There, curled amongst ancient roots and moss, she would fall into a deep, dreamless sleep, her breath a soft rumble that vibrated through the stone. But when the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery hues of orange and violet, Luna would stir. Her eyes, the color of polished obsidian, would open, reflecting the nascent evening stars. With a grand stretch, her powerful limbs uncoiling, she would emerge from her cave, shaking off the remnants of her day sleep. This was her time. This was when Luna, the grey dragon, became the vigilant guardian of the moonlit peaks. Unlike her fiery kin, Luna breathed not flames, but pure ethereal moonlight. A soft, silver mist would escape her nostrils, swirling and glowing before dissipating like morning fog. When she needed to unleash her power, a brilliant beam of concentrated moonlight would erupt from her maw, capable of illuminating the darkest corners, mending wounds, or in times of grave danger, banishing shadows and evil with its searing purity. Luna was not alone in her nocturnal vigil. She had a small, diverse family of friends, creatures of the night who shared her love for the moon-drenched world. There was Marla, a magnificent wolf with fur the color of rich earth and eyes that held the wisdom of countless seasons. Marla was a mother, her instincts sharp and true. She was Luna's closest confidant, often sharing her thoughts and concerns about the forest. With Marla came Don, her son, a fluffy, curious wolf pup whose boundless energy and playful nips were a constant source of amusement for Luna. Don loved to chase the wisps of moonlight Luna breathed, his tail wagging furiously. Then there was Balin, a wise old owl with feathers the shade of ancient parchment and eyes like amber jewels. Balin, from his high perch in the tallest ancient oak, was Luna's eyes in the sky, his keen sight missing nothing that stirred in the vast expanse of the peaks. He spoke in hushed, thoughtful hoots and was a fount of knowledge about the rhythms of the forest. Ollie, a nimble bat, was Luna's swift messenger. He zipped through the night skies, his echolocation mapping every cave and crevice. Ollie was a bundle of nervous energy, often twitching his ears and wings, but he possessed a brave heart and an unwavering loyalty. Lucy, a delicate Luna moth, was another friend. Her wings were as soft as moonlight itself, adorned with intricate patterns that shimmered. Lucy was quiet, often flitting about Luna's head like a living jewel, but she observed everything with her large, gentle eyes, and her presence was always a calming one. And finally, Trey, the most enthusiastic firefly in the entire moonlit peaks. Trey loved to dart around Luna, his tiny lantern blazing with excitement. He was a beacon of optimism, always finding the brightest side, even in the darkest nights. Together, this unlikely family watched over the moonlit peaks. For many seasons, their nights were filled with the gentle hum of the forest, the hoot of an owl, the distant howl of a wolf, and the soft beat of Luna's mighty wings as she patrolled her domain. But change, like a shadow, began to creep into their peaceful existence. It started subtly. During the day, when Luna slept, a strange chill would descend upon parts of the forest, even on the warmest afternoons. Animals would sometimes be found lethargic, their eyes dulled, their playful spirits gone. The vibrant moss on ancient stones would seem to lose a fraction of its verdant glow, turning ever so slightly muted. Marla was the first to notice the deeper wrongness. One evening, as Luna awoke, Marla approached her, her usually calm demeanor tinged with concern.
"Luna," she began, her voice a low growl. "Something is amiss. Don and I found a patch of ancient moon-petal flowers near the Whisperwood Grove. Their petals were shriveled, their silver luster gone. It was as if their very essence had been drained."
Don whimpered softly, remembering the eerie sight. Balin, perched on a branch above them, added,
My eyes have seen troubling things too, shadows that linger too long, even after sunrise. A strange, sickly sweet scent carried on the breeze like old earth and something ancient.
Ollie, looping nervously above them, chimed in.
And my sonar, there are gaps. Areas where the sound just doesn't bounce back right. It's like a void, an emptiness that wasn't there before.
Luna listened, her brow furrowed. Her keen dragon senses could now also detect a faint, cloying scent, a hint of something cold and utterly wrong seeping into the crisp night air.
I will investigate.
The next few nights, Luna and her friends intensified their watch. They discovered more withered plants, more patches of unnerving cold. The air grew heavier, and even the stars seemed a little dimmer over certain parts of the peaks. One fateful night, Balin returned from a reconnaissance flight with a look of genuine alarm in his amber eyes.
Luna, I have seen him, a creature of profound darkness. He resides in the shadowed crags of the Blacktooth Ridge. I saw him feeding, draining the very life from the ancient stones from the young saplings. He is pure malevolence.
Balin described a being tall and gaunt, shrouded in a dark, flowing cape, with eyes that glowed with an unsettling crimson light. He spoke of an aura of cold dread that radiated from him, powerful enough to make even the bravest creature shiver. Luna knew instantly. This could only be Dracula, the ancient vampire whispered about in the old legends. A being who craved power and eternal twilight, seeking to drain the very vitality from the land to fuel his dark magic. He aimed to plunge the moonlit peaks into an endless, desolate night, a kingdom where he could reign unchallenged by the sun.
He wants to make this land his own, Luna stated, her voice tight with resolve. He wants to snuff out the light, the life, the very spirit of the moonlit peaks.
The next night, Luna soared towards Blacktooth Ridge, her friends flying alongside her, a silent, determined escort. As they neared the ridge, the air grew thick with oppressive darkness, and the beautiful ethereal glow of Luna's moonlight breath seemed to struggle against it. They found Dracula in a vast, shadowed cavern, his gaunt figure silhouetted against a pulsing dark orb he was creating, a sphere of condensed shadow that seemed to suck the light from the very air. Around him, the rock face was barren and cracked, and what little vegetation remained was brittle and grey.
You trespass, creature of light. This land will soon be mine, a monument to eternal night. Your feeble moonlight cannot stop the coming darkness.
Luna roared, a sound that shook the cavern walls.
This land is home to life, to light, to magic. You will not turn it into a lifeless void.
She unleashed a powerful beam of moonlight breath, aiming for the dark orb. Dracula merely scoffed. With a flick of his wrist, a barrier of swirling shadows erupted, deflecting Luna's attack.
Your light is weak against my true power. Now witness the beginning of your end.
He raised his hands, and from the depths of the cavern, shadowy figures began to coalesce, grotesque bat-like creatures made of pure darkness, their eyes glowing with malice. The creatures lunged. Luna fought fiercely, her powerful claws batting them away, her moonlight breath searing against their shadowy forms. But they were numerous, and their touch brought a chilling cold that sapped her strength. Her friends sprang into action. Balin swooped, his talons slashing at the shadowy creatures, his hoots echoing a warning to Luna. Ollie, with his incredible agility, darted through the fray, his high-pitched calls disorienting the creatures, creating openings for Luna. Marla and Don, snarling fiercely, protected the cave entrance, preventing more creatures from emerging, their teeth snapping at any shadow that dared to approach. Lucy and Trey, usually more timid, flew with surprising courage, their combined light, though small, creating momentary flashes that seemed to sting the shadowy creatures, making them recoil. But Dracula was too powerful. He focused his dark magic, creating an illusion of creeping shadows that tried to bind Luna, to wrap around her wings and weigh her down. He seemed to draw strength from the surrounding gloom. "He feeds on darkness," Balin hooted, spotting how Dracula's form seemed to grow more substantial when surrounded by his shadowy minions.
He must be exposed to pure light.
Luna understood. Dracula was trying to create an eternal night to fuel his power. But if she could overwhelm that darkness, if she could bring true, unadulterated moonlight to bear, he would weaken. With a mighty beat of her wings, Luna tore free from the shadowy tendrils. She flew towards the cavern ceiling, seeking the highest point. Dracula, realizing her intent, unleashed a torrent of dark magic, trying to pull her back down.
Hold fast, Luna.
Don let out a brave, if slightly wobbly, bark.
We'll help you.
As he and Lucy and Trey zipped frantically around Dracula, their combined lights, though tiny, a momentary annoyance distracting his focus. Balin, with a desperate swoop, managed to claw at Dracula's shoulder, forcing the vampire to momentarily flinch, breaking his concentration on Luna. That was all Luna needed. Hovering at the cavern's apex, she took a deep breath, gathering all her strength, all the energy of the moon she drew from within her. Her scales glowed, and her eyes pulsed with silver light. Then, with a roar that reverberated through the very mountains, she unleashed her most powerful attack. Not a beam, but a cascading torrent of pure liquid moonlight. It poured from her maw like a waterfall, a radiant deluge that filled the chamber, driving back the oppressive shadows, dispelling the illusions, and pushing back the monstrous bat creatures until they dissolved into wisps of nothingness. The light hit Dracula like a physical force. He shrieked, a sound of agony and fury as the pure moonlight seared his shadowy form. His dark cape seemed to unravel, and his crimson eyes dulled. He recoiled, trying to shield himself, but there was nowhere to hide from the overwhelming purity of Luna's attack. The dark orb he was creating shattered with a deafening crack, its fragments dissolving into nothingness. The chill in the air vanished, replaced by a refreshing crispness. Dracula, his power broken, staggered back, shrinking, shriveling, until he was nothing more than a faint, spectral shadow, banished back to the deepest, darkest void from which he came, unable to face the light. Silence descended upon the cavern, broken only by the panting breaths of Luna and her friends. The air was clean, vibrant once more. The withered plants on the cavern floor began to regain a faint green hue, and a soft, warm glow permeated the space. Luna landed gently, her body trembling with exertion, but her eyes bright with victory. Her friends immediately flocked to her, yipping, hooting, and buzzing with relief and pride.
You did it, Luna!
We knew you would.
The moonlit peaks are safe once more, thanks to their guardian.
Over the next few nights, the moonlit peaks slowly but surely healed. The chill dissipated entirely, the plants revived, and the animals regained their playful spirits. The rivers sang with renewed vigor, and the moon petal flowers bloomed brighter than ever before. Luna continued her nocturnal vigil, soaring through the starlit skies, her grey scales shimmering under the moon she protected and cherished. But now her patrols felt lighter, freer, knowing that the greatest darkness had been vanquished. And always, by her side, were her loyal friends, Mala and the ever-curious Don, the wise Balan, the swift Ollie, the delicate Lucy, and the ever-sparkling Trey. They were not just companions. They were a family, a testament to the power of friendship and courage. As the first rays of dawn touched the highest peaks, Luna would return to her crystal cave content. She would curl up, her dreams now filled with the joyous howls of wolves, the hoot of an owl, the flutter of wings, and the soft, radiant glow of the moon, knowing that when she awoke again, her home, the beloved moonlit peaks, would be waiting for her, safe and sound, protected by its heroic grey dragon.